Hi, my name is Manju Kalanidhi and I work with the New Indian Express Sunday magazine. And this is part of the TNIE video section. Today I have with me a viral YouTuber, Giulia Raffaello, and she is known not just for her content but specifically tailored to the Indian audience. Well, Julia is married to an Indian, Mr. Shrey. And Julia has quite an impressive profile. She has about 300,000 subscribers on YouTube and 121 million views on her Instagram account, which has about 75,000 followers. She makes content around her intercultural relationship with her Indian husband and the Indian in-laws. So it's an amazing mix of very Western and Indian content. Without much ado, let's dive in to talk to Julia. Presenting to you, Julia the YouTuber. Hi, Julia.
Hi, Manju. Nice to speak to you.
Same here. So, tell us a little bit about your name. It's a very unusual spelling, Giulia. I was trying hard to understand. Is there a story behind this complicated name?
No, actually, the funny story is that in Italy, where I'm from, Giulia is the most common name that family use for girls. So it's the most popular. And it's just the Italian spelling. But as soon as I moved abroad, I realized that a lot of people were struggling with the pronunciation.
Right.
But that's exactly how we pronounce it. So Giulia, and that's how it's written in Italian. But many different countries have different pronunciation of my name. I agree.
Lovely, lovely. So you are as different and as unique as your spelling. Now I know that you live in Berlin, Germany, and
Yes.
you are a
Yes.
content creator, a TEDx speaker, very active on the
Yes.
social media. And
Yes.
like I just introduced, you're married to an Indian. So tell me what exactly, I mean, are you a full timer on content creator, or are you a student? Or do you work elsewhere? Tell our.
Yes, I can. Yes, happily to do that. Happy to do that. I actually work full time as an HR professional. So I work in the tech scene in Berlin, which is quite a popular scene in Europe. So I work for a big company in the tech sector, and I work as an HR business partner. So that's my full time job. And YouTube has started as a fun project. It was actually the idea of Shrey, my husband. He was seeing me really bubbly and with a lot of positive energy. And one day he told me, why don't we just get the camera, the lights, and the microphone, and we just start doing videos? I was already doing some videos for my company just as a side project. And I was taking acting classes just for fun. And yeah, that's how it all started. But I still have my full-time job. So I still work full-time as an HR professional in Berlin. And then on a side, I do this project.
Wow. So an acting class, an Indian husband, and a camera. Three of them have aided your really super
Yes.
successful YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Now this
I
is
have to give it to him.
Yeah. Now I know you have done videos about how you met your Indian husband. But for our audience to kind of understand and then watch your videos, very briefly tell us how you met Shrey and your love story.
Yes. Really simply put, we met online. We actually have used an app called OkCupid, and we were both looking to meet our partner in Berlin. Berlin can be a really great city for friends and for having parties, but it can be a really tough city for looking for your love partner. And we were both in the same app, and we just matched there. We liked each other. We started texting via the app, and then we met. And as soon as we met from the first date, I think we spoke for around 6 hours, and we realized that something was cooking, something serious was cooking. And from there, we started dating and we never looked back.
Oh, love at first sight. Would you say that?
I would say so. Maybe even more like love at first sight and love at first conversation. Yes,
Or
absolutely. Because
love
really,
at first swipe. That is the new.
yes. Yes, exactly. But it was really special because as soon as we found each other's profile, we felt really connected. Shrey was really positively surprised by the fact that I was that I was Italian, that I was vegetarian, because he's vegetarian. And and we started connecting, and I was positively surprised by the fact he had a picture from Venice, which is really close to my hometown, Padua in Italy. So we started like quickly talking, and I think after a few messages, I did ask him for a coffee, which he found really weird because he said, wow, after just a few messages. But I felt this connection with him right at the beginning. So yeah, and then from there we met at a park in Berlin, and we never went away from each other.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And how long did it take for
Yes.
you to decide that he was your life partner?
Actually, I know it sounds like maybe really fast, but I think on the third or fourth date, actually, just after 2, 3 weeks, we realized it was a really serious relationship. Like we were getting, since the beginning, we started having deep conversations and realizing we were sharing a lot of values, which is the most important thing. Even though we come from two different cultures, we have the same values. And so it was really quick. Yeah, two weeks maybe.
In 2 weeks, you decided you would get married to him. That's very Indian.
I mean, not get
Uh-huh.
married. No, not get married. I think
Okay.
we started. I mean, we realized we were serious in the relationship after 2 weeks. For marriage, I think it was after a few months. But still, after a few months, I have a lot of friends that actually take years to decide. For us, it was like, no, I think this is gonna be it. So it was a really fast relationship. But at the same time, we got married after 4.5 years we have been together, so we didn't rush into the marriage.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Is it true that you are a big Bollywood fan, and that could be one of the reasons why you thought you could dance at your wedding and have more connect with Bollywood?
Yes, I mean, it's not really the reason, but it's absolutely true that I've been a Bollywood fan since I was a teenager. And somewhat I've always been connected to India. So for me, it was definitely destiny that my husband and my family would have been Indian. And yeah, I actually went to London multiple times to just study English. And in one of the activities, they would take us to the musicals in London, and I would always pick the Bollywood musicals. So if I would say, like, what has been the first song, Bollywood song, that has been say Shava Shava. I just have been dancing that song and singing that song so many times. So yeah, definitely I've been a Bollywood fan since the right beginning.
Beautiful, beautiful. And now, so do you, when you make your, so would you say that your career, YouTube career started about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago?
Yes, we started roughly 3 years ago. Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
And
End of
and
2018.
do you have a lot of Indians watching your content, and do you tailor
Of
make
course.
your content for them as well?
Of course, I always think about my audience. Actually, I spend a lot of time in the comments to understand what they would like to see. And I have a lot of people that are watching me from India, but I also have people that are watching me from all over the world. I also have a lot of people watching me from America or from the UK or from Italy, so from Europe, where I'm from. So I definitely look into what does the audience want to see, and like what are the most popular videos, because a lot of people got passionate about our story because they started connecting to it. So it's really important that we keep that connection going, and that's why we also have introduced our families in the videos, because they really want to get to know our families and how do they get along, how do I get along with my in-laws, how does Shay get along with these in-laws. So yeah, definitely.
Lovely. And when did you get married, Julia?
We got married in June this year. We got married in Copenhagen. We did the first civic marriage in Copenhagen, but we are still planning to get married in Italy. So to do the Italian celebration and also to do the Indian celebration. It's just with the pandemic, it started being really challenging,
Yeah.
and there is a huge logistical challenge in being in an intercultural relationship. We have basically our families that are in two different continents. So of course we have to make sure that they can happen, that it's safe. And therefore we started with a civic marriage. And yeah, Copenhagen is a great place to do that. So that's when it happened.
Lovely. And which Indian festivals did you manage to actually take part in? I think Diwali, probably, which came most recently.
Yes. I mean, Diwali is something that we try to celebrate as much as possible in Berlin. I haven't yet been in India during Diwali, and I really want to. I just couldn't. But I hope next year I'm gonna be able, because I know that it's magical. And I see the pictures the mom and dad send me all the time. So I would really love to be part um, to the celebrations. But then I think this year I've been part of Holi festival, even though, it was a bit, there were the restrictions. So it's not that I
Yeah.
went out and did party outside, but I was part of that festival that I really loved. And there are so many festivals actually. But we also have celebrated the Durga Puja in Berlin. So, it's because we are an international couple, we try to keep the festivities wherever we are. But I definitely want to have more time in India so that I can experience more of them.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now tell me a few things that really freaked out, that you freaked out in India. I mean, what are the things that you found very unusual, maybe unique, maybe weird? Um,
Yes. I remember we were in Rajasthan. We were traveling in Rajasthan, and I have been given this recommendation to visit the temple that where like the rat temple, where there are a lot of rats, which is a really like it's a really holy temple. But because I'm scared of them, I didn't have the courage to go and visit this temple. So for me,
yeah.
that was like I really wanted to, but it's just I've seen the pictures and I was like, no, I don't think I can do that. But I would love to have the courage, and that was something that I think if I would have been there without knowing, that would probably have freaked me out
Oh,
100%.
okay, okay. And there are these things that Indians nod their heads a lot. So, what are the things that you found very unusual to India or Indians?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, one thing that I've noticed, I think I also made one of the most viral videos has been actually around Shrey. So me imitating Shrey. The head nodding was something that I picked up really soon, and I've noticed that when we are in Europe, Shrey, of course, doesn't do that. But as soon as someone from India calls him, he automatically goes into like this mimic things. So sorry, they had nothing and everything. Um, what else did I notice? I mean, there are so many common things also with the Italian culture, which is something that I always try to share in my content. I've noticed that like whenever there is a gathering in India, everyone is laughing, everyone is talking. Like there is, it's always really lively, and it's the same in Italy. So I really love that. Like, I don't mind being surrounded by like a lot of people and having a lot of loud sounds. So that's why I love being here. There's so much life around India. Where, of course, in Europe and specifically in Germany, things are a bit more quiet. So sometimes you might be in the metro and there is literally no sound, which to me is really weird. So that's why India feels home, because it's really similar to Italy. I find a lot of common things.
Okay. Now the Italian pizza is very popular in India. Of course, we eat a lot of American brands. But what do you think of the Indianized pizza that you find here?
So actually our first video has been around reaction to Shrey eating pizza with ketchup, which is like for an Italian it's a big no-no. Like you don't have pizza with ketchup. So for me, my heart of course sometimes gets broken if I see pizza with some, I don't know, with some weird combinations like with paneer and everything, even though I have tried it and it's yummy. It's extremely yummy. But I've also taken Shrey to Naples, which is the hometown and the home place of the real pizza. And Shrey has understood now why for us it's really difficult to associate pizza with ingredients that are not the traditional one. So I still do love it. And to be honest, like Shrey, I actually want to also make a video of me trying the Domino's pizza and other types of more like Indianized pizza version. And that's absolutely fine. But my personal preference is, of course, always the Neapolitan pizza. So the basic, dough with mozzarella and tomato sauce, of course.
So how long do you spend a week on making the videos, and what is your source of content? Where all do you look for your content?
So I try to look at my daily life. I try to look at what we struggle with daily in our relationship, or our relationship with our families. So I get a lot of inspiration actually from that. I try to look at what I'm doing and observe it as if an audience is watching it, and I try to think, is this interesting? Like, what is making me laugh throughout the day, and what is making me happy, what is making me feeling like, oh, this is a challenge, this is difficult, I would like to understand how do others solve this. And then I take note. I always have like a notebook that I will also have here right now, and I keep on taking notes. And if I start laughing at a joke, and Shay does this joke, or I make a joke to Shay, and we start laughing, then most likely you're gonna find me just taking notes and write it down. And then I reproduce the content like this. But of course, I also get inspiration from other content creators, and I also try to understand, what are people interested in. As I said, by the comments, because for me it's really important to keep the connection with the community. And yeah, so how long does it take? Content creation is a constant thing that goes on in your mind. So as I said, we work both full time. So when we are in more like full time work mode, our minds are there. But as soon as I detach from it, my creative mind starts, and that's where you keep on thinking about it, and that's maybe where some people might think, and sometimes it might feel stressful because you never stop. Your mind is always telling you, oh, this could be a video idea. Oh, people might love to see this, but at a certain point you need to put the boundary, because otherwise it becomes too much. So the content creation part is a constant thing. And then filming a video really depends. Sometimes it might take 1 or 2 hours. Maybe it's a really quick video or a Q&A or a challenge. But sometimes it might take the entire day, because maybe you're vlogging and then you have to bring the camera, whatever you do. And then for editing, if it's a really simple vlog and you just want really simple cuts, it takes 8 to 9 hours. But then if you want to do a really good production, a really beautiful production, you want to put some effects, you want to add some nice music, some cinematic music, and you want to sync, you want to put some nice fonts, and it can take you also 2-3 days. So from the idea to actually then go online, it can take minimum 1 week, if not even 2-3 weeks.
Wow, that's a lot of
Yes.
commitment to the.
Yes. It's a lot of commitment. Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now there is this huge, I don't know if it's a reality or a myth, maybe you should tell us the truth, is that almost everybody wants to become a YouTuber these days, because we hear about how YouTubers get a lot of money through their views and clicks and shares, and of course also the endorsements that you get to do. So would you ever think of quitting your day job to actually become a YouTuber? Is that sustainable?
So I would definitely say it's 100% a myth. You can't only rely on, let me explain it better. You can only rely on the views to make an income that is sustainable for then you to, have a normal life and maybe travel and everything. And that's why we are keeping our full-time jobs. Unless you start working with brands, then if you start working with brands constantly, of course you do produce an income out of that. And then you have to take a choice. Like, do you want to create content and work with a lot of brands, and then knowing that your audience, of course, will see a lot of brand and content, and then you decide if you do that, then yes, you can make it like a full-time job, a full-time position. But still, I would really like to tell people that realistically, this is a side project mostly. I don't want people to think that you can, there are a lot of videos of people buying houses and cars and say that they did it with the YouTube money. And maybe they are, there is always something behind. Maybe they are living in a house that is owned by the family, so they don't have to pay the rent. Maybe they don't have to take care of the bills, or maybe, there is always something that they're not telling you. I would want the audience to understand, to not buy this type of illusion, because YouTube is hard work, content creation is hard work, and you need to rely on brands to actually get a living out of that. So our choice for now has been to keep our full-time job, and that's exactly for that, because we don't want to put so much attachment and so much pressure on something that is creative. Because if you stop getting your full-time job, you still have to pay rent, you still have to pay the bills, and you have all your living costs. And then it starts getting like, you need to create content when you feel like doing it, when you have the inspiration. And if you start getting, collaborating with brands takes a lot of time. You have to negotiate a lot the commercials. So we have made that conscious choice. Now for the future, may I would still like, I really like my job, I really like my HR profession, so I would still like to do it. I would maybe try to reduce the time that I do my full-time job and maybe move to part-time, or maybe do it more on a freelancing basis as a consultant. But I would like to keep both, because it also grounds me, and it's quite connected as a job, because I work with people, I coach people in HR. And in my YouTube project, I also talk to people a lot via the videos, and I also interact a lot with them, and they ask me for a lot of advice. So yeah, I would like to keep both. And the same goes with Shrey. Shrey works in marketing, and of course his knowledge is amazing for this project. But for him, it's also important, because this project enables him to have new marketing skills, right? So yeah, I would definitely say it's a myth. There is a lot of hard work, and if people want to become content creators, that's amazing. I will definitely recommend it if they have a story, if they feel like they need to express themselves, but they need to be ready that this is hard job. It's really hard work, and it's a lot of hours, and your mind never stops. So
So we'll kind of end the conversation with a rapid fire. Let's see how you do that.
oh, let's do that.
So your favorite food, Indian food, would be?
Banging kabarta.
Sorry,
Banging kabarta.
Bangan Kabar. Okay. Your favorite song, Bollywood song?
I mean, now I said, say Shava. Shava has been the first, so I think it's gonna be always my first love to Bollywood.
Okay. Most weirdest thing you have eaten while in India? I mean, unusual. Let's put it unusual. Maybe not weird.
For me, the first time when I used hing, when I smelled hing, like the spice, it was really weird. But now I always use it in my cooking. So, but the first action to hing, oh, and then the ajmola. The ajmola. Oh my God, the ajmola has been really weird for me. Like the first time I was given ajmola, I made a lot of videos and people always laugh at my reaction. But whenever I also give it to my family and friends, it's a really strong taste. So it's really difficult at the beginning to
Yeah.
have it. Yeah.
And your favorite Indian YouTuber?
I have so many actually. I really love the creativity and the blending of Western style and in Indian style that Mazoom has on Instagram. I really love Beer Biceps. I really love Mostri Sane and Dolly. There's so many. I follow so many. There are so many great creatives in India. Like I love that.
Oh, lovely. And what do you think should change in India immediately? Is it the traffic? Is it the pollution? Is it the crowds, the noise? What?
No, not the crowds at the noise, because as I said, I find it like I love it because there is a lot of life. Um, I mean, I would love to see less cars and more bikes. Maybe like the traffic. The traffic is really intense. In Delhi, it's still okay, but whenever we come to Mumbai, I mean, we spend a lot of time in traffic. So maybe yes, maybe something around the traffic, because it can help everything. Can be help the quality of life of people, how much time you spend, but also the pollution and the environment. So I personally bike everywhere in Berlin, or I use the metro. So definitely the transportation part, it's something that I would love to see.
Can you speak a bit of Hindi for us to know how much you have managed to learn?
हाँ, मेरे नाम जूलिया है. And then, I mean, I know I know a few words. Like I have this nice phrase that I use in all the videos. They are really funny videos where I basically impersonate my mother-in-law, and when she tells off Shrey. So I always say "Beta tum pitoge," because we play a lot around. So I impersonate an Indian moms, and that has been one of the characters that people have been loving. When the kids don't want to wake up because they're going to they have to go to school, and it's like "Beta tum pitoge" and other things. But yes, then I can count. So ek, do, and then yeah, a few things, not much yet, but I need to learn.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there. Yes, I do understand. I do understand. When I hear a conversation, I understand what people are talking about. Well, when I need to talk, it takes a lot of time.
Absolutely. So guys, that is Giulia for us. And I'm sure by now you are very curious to know more about Giulia, how she met. I mean, she did give us a glimpse of how she met her husband Shrey, but kind of how did they connect? How did they move forward? Her experiences with her in-laws, and making her friends eat South Indian food. There's so much of content that she's already put up. So Giulia, maybe you could end with your own YouTube channel, and so that our audience could check it out.
Yes, definitely. If you want to check out my content, you can follow me on YouTube as Only One Giulia and the same handle on Instagram. Those are the two platforms where I'm always present. And that's it. It was nice talking to you, Manju.
Same here. Thank you so much. That's it from me, Manju, and the New Indian Express. Bye, Giulia.
Bye.